Hey, everybody.
Yep, Louis in there.
What's going on?
Yeah, Louis Hernandez is in there.
Is everybody still sleeping
Summer's
or hungover or what?
Yeah, they're just starting to show up.
I got up at 7:30.
I remember it being a good show last night.
I did too.
Yeah, I was pretty hammered at the end. I remember it being pretty good.
I mean, I feel like we covered... I know it was like an hour and 5 minutes or something before we even started talking about the case.
Yeah,
but,
I don't think people minded.
No, but I did, like, somebody commented, they're like, it'd be cool if you, like, actually put, hey, you're going to, like, start talking about the case at whatever time. So I actually did start doing that.
Yeah. We take about an hour to warm up. To go through all the shit.
It takes a while.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I didn't go through, like, all the details and everything because I feel like a lot of people... That's a very famous case and a lot of people know about it. So I feel like I just wanted to kind of go into some shit that was in that book that I read that I actually didn't know about the case that I thought maybe a lot of people wouldn't know about it. So I know it was kind of rambling, but what else is new? All of our shows are rambling, aren't they? Yeah. But so it's Sunday today. I just been doing the shit with the polls for next week's show. I've been wrapping Christmas presents.
Yeah.
I wrapped all the kitties' Christmas presents, put them under the tree. Yeah. So hopefully they don't get in there and tear them up because they're like, I smell catnip in there.
I've been having sinus problems. I think it's starting to go away though. I woke up this morning smelling like it smelled like cigarette smoke in here. Nobody smokes in here.
Yeah. Just
burned up fucking nose follicles.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Maybe in your sleep someone was like sticking a lighter up your, like a car lighter up your nose.
This movie here was a Korean movie.
This is on Netflix.
Yeah.
I think it's been on there since the end of November, and I kept seeing it, and like I saw the preview or the trailer, and I was like, man, that looks pretty good. And we've been having good luck with Korean horror lately. Yeah. Like we've seen a lot of really good ones. And this is called The Call. Now it's kind of confusing. I've also seen it called just Call, like without the.
Yeah.
But the thing is though that there's also an American horror movie that came out this year called The Call that has Lin Shaye in it. Who was in like some of the Conjuring universe movies, among many other things. So this is not that movie. This is Korean. And actually, this is kind of I don't know if I'd call it a remake, or it's kind of based on this British Puerto Rican film that was called The Caller that came out in 2011. I'm not sure. I haven't seen that movie, so I don't know if like the premise is the same. But this movie, this was really cool because I think when it first started... Because it starts kind of slow and you're not really sure. I didn't really know where it was going to go. Like, I knew it involved a phone call, obviously. And that some weird shit was going on, that, like, some weird person was calling our main character. But I had no idea how mind-blowy this film would be. You know what I mean? Like, how twisty and turny, and it had almost kind of, like, sci-fi type of elements to it.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool because I wasn't expecting it. And I ended up, even though it was like, it took me a while to get into it because at first it doesn't really seem like that. But as it goes on, you know, it just kind of like gets weirder and weirder and weird. And then like you just get sucked into it like the more that you watch it. So if you start watching it and you think, oh, it seems boring or it doesn't seem like a thriller or something like that, like stay with it because it gets crazy.
Yeah, it gets kind of fucking twisty.
Yeah.
You don't know if it's interdimensional or what are we talking about? We talk about time loops. Certain elements of it started to kind of remind me of Donnie Darko. Not quite as artistic as Donnie Darko. Yeah. More like that damn German series.
Dark,
yeah.
It did give me a little bit of that vibe. Just thematically, it kind of gave me that kind of vibe. But yeah, so basically what... I'll kind of just give... I'm not going to spoil it.
I had a hard time following it, actually.
I think a lot of people did. But it's not as hard to follow as Dark. Because Dark, you needed like fucking charts, and there was like a big fucking... If you go to the Wikipedia page, there's this massive like big chart that somebody made. This one is not that complicated. But it is kind of a head scratcher, and probably it's one that you would need to watch a couple of times, like just to make sure that I got the gist of it, but like to pick up some of the details and stuff. So basically, like I said, I'm not going to spoil it, but you got a young lady named Kim Seo-yeon. I know I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. She's 28. I think she's played by Park Shin-hye, who I think was also in #Alive, if I'm not mistaken.
This is typical Korean production value, which for right now is good score, good-looking cast. To be in a Korean movie, you have to be cute. That's just it. That's what they're gonna say. They want their fucking
no
money's
ugly
worth.
bitches in these movies.
They want their fucking money's worth. You know what I mean? Like, I paid $10 for this movie. You can show me these ugly bitches. Where are the fucking? Where
are the hot girls?
Well, it's also the guys too.
Where are the hot guys?
Oh yeah. You gotta. And even if they're older, they have to be cute.
Yeah. Oh, this is mainly, there's a lot of female characters in this. There's
Yeah.
a couple male characters too, but not that many. It's mostly like focused around female characters.
Something that kind of also happens in like Chinese and Japanese cinema. They don't really allow ugly people to be in there unless the character's supposed to be somebody who's super ugly.
Unless that's like part of the
that's
plot.
Part of the thing, right? Yeah. Which that's kind of the way it was here in the United States up until recently, really.
Well,
50s,
here it's
60s.
like if you're even now,
Yeah.
like if you're ugly or if you're not super good looking, you're just a character actor.
Yeah. First ugly motherfucker I saw in a movie recently would be fucking Steve Buscemi. Yeah. But there was something funny about him though, is he was kind of handsome in an ugly way.
Yeah, he's one of those people that's like funny looking, but kind of hot funny looking.
Yeah, the more you look at him, you go, "Nah, he's kind of cool looking."
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's like it's all in how you work it, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this young woman, at the very beginning, you're not real sure. She's visiting her mom, like at a hospital or some kind of care home or something like that. I guess her mom has cancer or is dying or whatever. And they don't explain why at first, but her and her mom have a very strained relationship. Let's put it that way. So that's what you get at the beginning. And then she's taking the train home and she loses her cell phone, which is kind of like a big, thing that, drives the plot forward. So she goes back to the old family home, and the guy that drove her was like, she's like, "Hey, I lost my cell phone. I can't like be without a phone." He's like, "Oh, there's probably like an old cordless one in there. Like, why don't you look for that? Maybe it's up in the closet or the attic or whatever." So she finds the phone, she hooks it up, and she starts receiving mysterious phone calls from a girl who starts screaming that her mother is trying to kill her. Now, as the conversations between these two women go on, you discover that the woman on the other end of the line, who is also 28 years old, lived in this same house, but back in 1999. So they are talking to each other on this presumably magical phone, 20 years apart.
Some kind of time warp.
It's some kind of weird time, but this is not explained, but it's not important. It's just, and I feel like a lot of Asian horror, they're really good at doing this, like taking some kind of mundane technology and like making it scary or making it like the center of a horror plot.
Well, Twilight Zone did that.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's kind of a hallmark of a lot of really good Asian cinema. So like The Ring, Pulse, that type of stuff. So you're basically getting these two women communicating across 20 years. They're occupying the same house, but 20 years apart. And so one thing that happens is that in the present, Kim Seo-yeon's dad died when she was a little girl. And it turns out that the girl in the past is like, "Hey, I could keep your dad from getting killed because it hasn't happened yet." You know what I mean? So after that, like I said, I really, really don't want to spoil like all the twists and stuff because
I couldn't keep all the twists straight anyway.
This is definitely, like I said, it's definitely one that you have to see more than once. But I've seen because a lot of people have reviewed this because, like I said, it's Netflix, and so a lot of people have done like review videos, and then they did another like a spoiler video where they explained like what happened. Like I said, I got it mostly. There was a couple things I didn't pick up on, like when I went and read through the Wikipedia plot synopsis. I was just like, "Oh, okay, I didn't get that." But mostly I got it. I got where they were coming from with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing, when I first saw Donnie Darko, I didn't understand it. I'm not even sure I still understand it. It was just like, that's some weird shit.
Donnie Darko, I feel like, was kind of more complicated than this one because that one had like a whole bunch of different characters, like fates intertwining, which this one has too, but it's mostly concerned with these two women. And another thing too is that this this time thing isn't a loop. It's kind of like, basically, they're both moving through time at, like, the normal rate. So, for example, let me see if I can, like, say this without messing it up. For example, like, when 1999 chick is like, oh, hey, your dad hasn't died yet, I can prevent that because you know what happened, because you are in the future from her point of view. So she's like, I can prevent that happening, which will, you know, cause all of these changes, obviously, like in your reality. But once it happens in 1999, it can't be changed anymore. It's not like it's not like a time travel movie where you can just, oh, well, we'll travel back in time to before that happened and then we'll try again. I feel like that's not happening. So if you prevent someone from dying, or if you kill someone back then, like, it can't be, nobody can go back and change it. And I think that, I can't remember, but I think that her calling the 1999 girl, calling the 2019 girl, I don't think the 2019 girl could call the 1999 girl. I think it only went that one way. You know what I mean? Because I think every time it was like her phone would ring in 2019 and it was past chick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't think she could call past chick up and be like, hey, can you do this and that for me? Can you put some money in a bank, or like put some money on this fucking stock or something like that? I don't think she could do that.
Right.
And as it turned out, like I said, you would think that would be like a cool thing that would happen, but it turns out that it doesn't shake out that way, because past girl is maybe not as cool a person as you would hope. So so there's that. But like I said, this is a really, really, if you like kind of mind bendy, like I said, if you like dark or Donnie Darko or something like that, like I said, it isn't as complicated as that. If you pay attention and you pay attention to what everybody says, you'll get the gist of it. It's not that hard to figure out. But
at the time of watching it, I wasn't quite in the mood for it.
Yeah.
If I was in the mood for it, I probably would have enjoyed it a little bit better. It was just too damn complicated. I kind of wanted something that was just more kind of maybe funny and entertaining at the time. Your mindset has a lot to do with.
Yeah, because this is another one where you really have to. It's not like arty farty. It's not or nothing like that. But it's definitely one that you have to pay attention to.
Yeah.
But if you're paying attention to it, and like I said, it takes a while to get into that mode, because at first you're just kind of like, okay, well, this chick's just visiting her mom and then she lost her cell phone, and then she's getting these weird phone calls and she doesn't really know what it's for, and you don't really find out like about the time travel. And then like once that starts, like shit starts getting fucking crazy, and it's just, I got super, super sucked into this movie. Like, it took a while because I was sitting there going, oh, this is pretty good, you know, but it's kind of not going anywhere. But then, like, once that shit started happening, I was like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Like, it just kept, like, ramping up. So I thought it was, like, really, really good. But as I said, you have to kind of really, it's one you really have to pay attention to. And I kind of feel like I don't want to say they left it open for a sequel, but
yeah, they did.
I guess they could kind of make a sequel if they wanted to.
Right.
Or they could have just end it where it is, but they could definitely like make a sequel to this, because they did leave it. And another thing too is when it ends and the credits start rolling, keep watching it, because
there's
something else happens
yeah.
in the credits, and it's actually kind of really important. So it changes like the whole end. So yeah, Sandra asked, how was the curry?
No, I said, yeah, sir, it was good.
Yeah, it was delicious.
We
had had some for lunch today too.
Yeah.
And today we heated it up and we had it with naan bread, and it was delicious.
I'm thawing out some damn beef. I think it's
we found something in the freezer and we can't remember when we made it.
It's not from a long time ago, maybe a month, but I don't remember what it was. I think it's beef bottom round. I think.
I have no idea what it is. I don't remember.
They're like little steaks, but I forgot which ones they were.
Are they cooked or no?
No.
Oh, they're not cooked. Oh, okay.
It's 8 of them, 8 slices of
I
steak.
thought you cooked them and then put them away.
No,
because they were frozen and I couldn't tell what they were.
No, it's raw. It's 8 slices of some kind of steak.
He comes in my office with his big frozen bag. What are these?
Yeah. I thought maybe you might remember.
No, I don't remember.
I don't remember what I cooked with that.
Aren't we funny? It's like, well, we put, because like I said, when he makes food, he makes like a whole bunch. And like, so sometimes if we get sick of it or we don't want to eat anymore, we'll, portion it out and put it in the freezer. And we have so much stuff in there that every now and then we'll be like going through there looking for some vegetables or something. Be like, what the fuck? Yeah. What is this?
Yeah.
Can I eat it still? Do you remember that one time you made that humongous lasagna?
Yeah.
And I feel like are there still pieces of that in there?
Long
gone,
okay. Long gone.
Because I feel like there were pieces of that in there for a really long time afterwards.
That's okay though. So I think some of that lasagna was in there for like 2 or 3 months.
I think it was. That's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure it was in
just
there
like
a
I
long
went,
time.
I probably should have thrown it away, but I was like, I'm gonna thaw it and see what happens.
And see if it's any good.
Thought it was good.
It was still good.
Still real good. Yeah. So I said, we're gonna eat this.
Yeah, I mean, some things like that lasagna. If you froze it, because we froze it like only a day or two after we made it, and yeah, even 2 or 3 months later, we thawed it out and we cooked it, and it tasted exactly the same.
That's because I packed it right.
Yeah.
You know, I packed that shit real tight and saran wrap and fucking wrapped it. It was almost basically vacuum packed. So, you know, I mean,
nothing could get to it.
Nothing could get in there. Yeah. So it was good. But I think this beef is the same beef I used for something kind of like stroganoff. Or did I make some kind of steak sandwiches?
I can't even remember when we bought that. When did we buy that?
I don't know. I got that nice bread. Maybe I can make steak sandwiches with.
We can have that for dinner, I guess.
Yeah, you want a steak sandwich?
Yeah, that sounds good.
I can make a steak sandwich. I don't have what it takes to make stroganoff. I can make...
That's probably too fattening anyway.
Yeah, well, everything's fattening if I'm making it.
That's true.
I got that cheese. Well, let me see what else.
I don't know. I think a steak sandwich sounds good.
Steak sandwich sound good? All right.
I mean, you know.
Okay. That's what I'll do then.
We can just have that for dinner.
We have to use up that bread anyway.
That's what I'm saying, because that bread's been in there a long time, and I don't want that to get...
No, it's not a long time.
Well, it's been in there for...
About 5 days, 6 days.
Yeah. You don't
it's
want
refrigerated,
it to get,
though.
You don't want it to get stale.
It won't. We'll eat it in time. It's those hoagie rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, hoagie rolls.
I like those.
Like for a sub sandwich.
I finally finished up that multi-grain bread that we had a thing of.
I got another loaf of that back there.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was some good shit.
Yeah.
I've been making toast with that.
Yeah, I got a case of eggs back there. Not a dozen eggs, a case.
Like a case.
A case of eggs.
We eat a lot of eggs.
Yeah.
I love eggs.
See, at the store I go to, I can get an entire case of eggs, I think, for $6. So why buy a little one?
Because we go through so many. Because we not only, eggs are like super easy. Like if you don't feel like really cooking anything, like it's just, easy to fry a couple eggs and have some toast and hey, it's dinner. But
I think it's 6 dozen eggs.
You cook with them a lot too.
6 dozen eggs for like $6.
Yeah.
So, you know.
And like I said, we go through a lot of eggs, so.
Make all kinds of shit with them.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. See what everybody's saying.
Somebody said, I got myself a food vac. Love it. Tammy said that. And Victor says, the foodie ninja girl has a dehydrator setting.
Some Oracle Mom's making Cajun meatballs. Those are pretty good.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I've ever had those. Yeah. We've never made those, have we?
No. Made a lot of Italian meatballs.
Louis said this movie sounds a little bit like Frequency. It is kind of like that. I had forgotten about that movie, but yeah. I actually liked this better than Frequency, but Frequency was okay too. But I think this is better.
There's these little Pakistani meatballs they used to make. I think it's called kofta.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we made that a few times.
Yeah. They're not great, though. Every recipe I found, they're okay. It's just a meatball.
Yeah, it's not mind-blowing.
It's not really mind-blowing.
It's just kind of like a meatball, but with slightly more...
And in a spicy gravy.
Yeah.
Oh, we haven't made it in a while, though.
Yeah. Because like I said, they're good, but it's not like... when we're going to make, Indian or Pakistani food or something like that, I always go to something else, you know what I mean? That's like...
Saad's on there from Saudi. And made me think of that Arabic food, too, man. I haven't had kibi in a long time. There was these little Arabic things we used to eat when we were in Egypt, and it was like a round piece of baked bread, and on top of it, ground seasoned beef, and then they used to squeeze like a lime on it or lemon on it. It was fucking really good. I forgot what it was called though. It's kind of like a little pastry. You could just pick it up.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? It was like
I think I know what you're talking about.
It's like a baked flat bun with ground beef, spiced ground beef, and I think sliced up onions and stuff. You know, it was all baked and it was stuck to the top of it.
Saad says motabak. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah, something like that. And then you put lemon on it, squeeze lemon on it, and eat it.
That sounds yummy.
They had it in Egypt, and I even saw that in Israel. So it was just in that whole area people were eating it.
Louis says...
motabak. That's what he's calling it.
Have I ever heard of Alice Crimmins? I've heard that name, but I don't know a lot of the details about the case, so I will definitely look that up because I know I've heard that name, though. I just can't remember in what context I heard it. Sandra says, aren't they with chickpeas? The kofta meatballs are a chickpea dressing.
I think there's a bunch of different variations of it.
I don't remember. We made it a couple times.
It was with beef.
But it's been a while since we've made it.
I don't think there was chickpeas in it. It made it kind of like a thin, spicy gravy. You eat it with rice.
We made a lot of Indian dishes with chickpeas.
Yeah.
Like, what is that? What, the chana masala or whatever it is.
There's another one that's Pakistani, popular with Pakistani Muslims, called keema, which is like a ground beef stew.
Yeah, we've made that a bunch of times.
Kind of lemony, spicy and lemony. That one's good. Pour it over rice, or put rice.
A couple times we've made it though. It was like really hot.
Way hot. Yeah, gotta be careful.
It was really hot.
Gotta be careful with the spice mixes that they sell for that.
Yeah, you never know, because sometimes obviously we go to that Indian market or whatever, it's like Spiceland, and they have a whole aisle of different spice mixes for different dishes, and you never know. Like, they usually have Shan, they usually have National, they have a couple of other ones, I can't remember what they're called, but you never know how hot that's gonna be until you make it. Somebody
with a Sanskrit looking fucking screen name says it's called Aries. I don't know exactly what you're talking about. The little bread with the beef on top of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll have to look it up after this.
Because we were talking about a lot of stuff.
Now I'm curious.
Yeah. There was a lot of... but you know what's funny about that keema is that the recipe that I followed, it had kind of a thin stew or soup that went with it. You know, it was
yeah, it wasn't like real thick stew. No, it was kind of thin, and like the meat was ground really small.
Yeah, and I was thinking at the time, I was like, man, that ought to be creamy. I bet you could add yogurt to that.
Well, I mean, or that's cream, true of anything.
Or cream.
Everything's better
kind
with cream and
thicken
yogurt
it a little bit. Yeah, it was a little too thin for me.
Yeah. Arias. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Beef pasty.
It's like a beef pasty. Yeah, it's like that. It was a flat piece of bread, about that big around. And in the middle of it, it was a little bit dished. In the middle of it, a bunch of ground beef and onions. It's spiced. And you take a lemon or a lime and squeeze it on there and eat it. Just like a handful. It's good.
Yeah, I would eat the shit out of that.
Real
but
good.
Yeah, that is kind of like a pasty. Although that's...
Like a Middle Eastern hamburger.
Yeah.
Without a top.
Without a top on it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like that.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's good, yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. So you have anything else you would like to say? All right. So if you have Netflix, like I said, if you're into Korean horror, this is a really good one. Like I said, it's kind of slow to start out, but give it a chance because it gets fucking crazier and crazier as it goes on, and you'll get like super sucked into it. At least I was. But yeah, so we'll be back tomorrow. I think what I'm going to start doing, since our Christmas special is next...
Arabic guys help me. It says bread with ground beef is usually made in charcoal. Yeah.
Okay.
Victor Garcia's, they'll look good. I guess they're looking at them. They're saying, y'all making me hungry. Yeah.
Don't we always? Yeah, because we always end up talking about food.
Yeah, Victor, I'm telling you, man, that Arias thing, that Arabic hamburger, I'm going to call it a beef pasty, or it's an Arab hamburger, all right? That's like something that they would just buy and eat it while they were walking. It was good, man. It's real good. Especially with some lemon on it.
I mean, a pasty, though, is more like... It's like enclosed.
It's enclosed.
That's like a pie. It's like pie crust almost.
This one was open. Like an open-faced sandwich. But it was portable. You could carry it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good.
But yes. Oh, so what I was going to say, since next Saturday is going to be our Christmas special, because I kind of debated. I was like, well, the Saturday following that is the day after Christmas. So I feel like we should do the Christmas special before Christmas. You know what I mean? So we're doing the Christmas special on the 19th. And so I thought, well, leading up to that, most of our matinees, I was going to do like some newer Christmas movies or Christmas adjacent movies, Christmas horror movies. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to start doing. I've got like a whole bunch of them picked out that I'm going to start doing tomorrow. I was actually going to do one today, but then we watched this one. I really liked it, so I wanted to talk about it. But yeah, so starting tomorrow, we're going to do Christmas horror movies. All right, so that'll do it for the matinee today. Thanks everybody for dropping by, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow. Bye.